Two major coaching changes have taken place in the Big 12 that can impact where teams finish in the 2024 Big 12 rankings. These could be very, very important coaching moves here, folks. And we're not even talking about head coaches. We're talking about two coordinator positions that are changing, one at Kansas, one at Baylor. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to give you my thoughts on each one, and we're going to do that right after this word from my sponsor. Ladies and gentlemen, this episode is brought to you by Dutch Miller Automotive, where friends and family pricing means you get the best deal right up front on any new or pre-loved vehicle in stock every time. With brands like Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Kia, Hyundai, Ford, GMC, Buick, and Subaru, the Dutch Miller Automotive family is always growing and ready to put you in the car or truck you've been searching for. Check out our inventory across West Virginia at DutchMillerAuto.com or come in today to the home of friends and family pricing, only at a Dutch Miller Automotive store near you. What is up, college sports fans, Big 12 fans, fellow members of Mountaineer Nation? Welcome into another edition of Kuz's Corner. Belly yourself up to that bar and let me pour you out this shot of top-shelf college football content. On tap in today's episode, we are talking Big 12 football. We are talking Big 12 coaching changes. And no, we're not talking about Dana Holgorsen getting fired at Houston. Other channels have covered that ad nauseum. But what I want to talk about here are two coaching changes that could have just as big an impact. And we're talking about Kansas losing offensive coordinator Andy Kotelnicki, and we're talking about Baylor hiring offensive coordinator Jake Spavital. Now, first, when you look at the Kansas situation, Andy Kotelnicki, it's been reported by several outlets, Andy Kotelnicki has been hired to replace Mike Yurcich as the offensive coordinator at Penn State. Now, Andy Kotelnicki has really helped Coach Lance Leipold turn this Kansas program around. He's been the OC at Kansas for 3 years. And during that time, we've seen Kansas transform into one of the most exciting offenses in college football. Kansas finished 6th in the country in yards per play in 2022 and number 8 in 2023 in that category. And they did it in 2023 despite an injury to starting quarterback Jalen Daniels for most of the season. He was out with a back problem. Yet they were still able to finish 8th in the country in yards per play. And they are 30th in the country in scoring offense in 2023. And again, they did it mostly without their starting quarterback. Now, when you look at Kotelnicki's history, he has followed Lance Leipold from his time at Wisconsin Whitewater, where they won 2 Division III national titles. He followed him to Buffalo, where they were there from 2015 up through 2020, and then came over to Kansas with him. And in all those stops, they had prolific offenses. When you look at his time at Buffalo, they were 2nd in the nation in rushing offense in 2020 and 5th in scoring offense that same year. From 2015 to 2020, you look at all those years, almost every year in there, they had really good statistics. They had several seasons where they broke program records offensively, sometimes multiple records. So just prolific offenses they had there at Buffalo, and then before that at Wisconsin Whitewater at the Division III level, where, again, they won 2 Division III national championships. So very, very good track record by Andy Kotelnicki. So Penn State is getting themselves a really good offensive coordinator. And unfortunately for Kansas in the Big 12, they're losing a really good offensive coordinator. Now, Kansas has already promoted quarterbacks coach Jim Zebrowski to co-offensive coordinator. Now, Zebrowski also does have some experience as an offensive coordinator at Wisconsin Whitewater for a few years under Leipold as well. And then he also served on Leipold's staff at Buffalo with Kotelnicki. I think he spent most of those years, it's my understanding anyway, he spent most of those years as a quarterback coach. Now, we've seen how he's been able to develop Jalen Daniels. We've seen how he's been able to develop Jason Bean, the backup, who came in and played well in Daniels' absence. And we even seen third-string quarterback Cole Ballard perform pretty well in 2 close losses to Texas Tech and Kansas State. So he's a really good developer of quarterbacks and does have some experience as an offensive coordinator. However, to me, this is a loss for the Jayhawks, a pretty big loss. And the reason I say that is this. I mean, if Zebrowski and Kotelnicki have been on the same staff with Leipold for multiple years, there is a reason that Leipold made Kotelnicki the offensive coordinator and not Zebrowski. I'm not saying Zebrowski can't be a good offensive coordinator, but if he was as good as Kotelnicki, in Lance Leipold's eyes, wouldn't he have already made him the offensive coordinator? Think about that. Think about that. So, in my opinion, Kansas, this is a big loss for Kansas. And I'll be interested to see how well they adjust next year. Jalen Daniels has announced he's coming back. How different will this Kansas offense look, if at all? And how effective will they be? Will they be as effective as they were under the tutelage of offensive coordinator Andy Kotelnicki? Now, the one I want to talk about now is one that's a little bit closer to home for me, and that is Jake Spavital being hired to replace Grimes as the offensive coordinator at Baylor. Baylor had a bad year. They only won 3 games. Dave Aranda did stay on as head coach, but he's making staff changes. One of those changes, he decided to fire offensive coordinator Jeff Grimes. He's bringing in Jake Spavital from Cal, who's spent this past season as the offensive coordinator at Cal. Now, that's his second stint at Cal. Spavital also has offensive coordinator experience at West Virginia, among other schools, and he's also been a head coach. He has 4 years of head coaching experience as he was a head coach at Texas State for 4 years. But when you look at Spavital, I mean, I got to watch this guy in person as the OC at West Virginia. And Baylor fans, I'm telling you, you're getting a good one here. Jake Spavital was the offensive coordinator during 2 of West Virginia's most prolific offensive seasons in 2017 and 2018 when Will Greer was our quarterback. Now, a lot of people are going to say he was only good because he had good quarterbacks throughout his career. Well, you know, he's also been the quarterback coach for most of these teams. I'm sure he had a hand in developing these quarterbacks. I'm sure he had a hand in recruiting a lot of these quarterbacks, and he's worked with great quarterbacks. And, you know, Baylor is losing Blake Shapen to the transfer portal. And the number one thing on Jake Spavital's agenda is to go get a good quarterback probably out of the transfer portal. And who better to do that than a guy who has worked with some of these names? Listen to some of these names, guys, and I'm going to spout off to you right now. Will Greer, Case Keenum, Johnny Manziel, Kyler Murray, Geno Smith, David Webb, and Brandon Weeden. Those are some of the quarterbacks he's worked with during his time as a quarterback coach and as an offensive coordinator. That's pretty doggone good track record, if you ask me. And that's going to be exciting when you walk into a living room and you're talking to a potential quarterback for your program, and you can say, hey, Will Greer, NFL draft pick, Case Keenum, NFL draft pick, Johnny Manziel, first-round draft pick, Kyler Murray, first-round draft pick, number 1 draft pick, if I might add, Brandon Weeden, NFL draft pick, also a first-rounder, Geno Smith, second-round NFL draft pick, and who, oh, by the way, probably should have been a first-round pick, especially when you look at the way he's been playing for Seattle lately. Those are all great quarterbacks. And, man, what a resume he's got working with those guys. And then you add in the fact that his offense has been prolific. I'm just going to read you off. This comes from the write-up on Baylor's website where they introduced Spavital. I'm going to read you some of this. At Cal, Spavital rejuvenated a Golden Bears offense that ranked 4th in the Pac-12 in rushing offense in 2023 and averaged 31.6 points per game. Spavital helped Cal become bowl eligible for the first time in 4 seasons after winning 3 straight games to close out the 2023 campaign, averaging 34 points across the trio of victories. As an offensive coordinator, Spavital has led 6 top 20 offenses and helped his squad earn a spot in the AP Top 25 poll in 7 different seasons. Prior to Cal, Spavital served as the head coach at Texas State for 4 seasons, where he took over a program that had recently moved to the FBS level and logged a second-place finish in the Sun Belt's West Division in 2021. Spavital spent the 2017 and 2018 seasons as the OC at West Virginia. His second stint with the Mountaineers. His first one was in 2010 and 2011, also under Dana Holgorsen, but at that time he was only the quarterback coach. There he helped West Virginia to a pair of bowl games and an AP number 20 finish after an 8-win season in 2018. His squad's ranked in the top 10 nationally in 2018 in passing offense, team passing efficiency, total offense, and scoring offense. After the 2017 team ranked in the top 25 in passing offense, total offense, and scoring offense. Now, a lot of people are going to say, but that's because Dana Holgorsen was the head coach. Au contraire. In 2017 and 2018, Dana Holgorsen handed Jake Spavital the reins to the offense and let him call the plays. And they still were one of the most prolific offenses in all of college football. So don't give me this, well, he's not a good play caller. Baloney. I've seen him do it. He can do it. Now, it's obvious Baylor's bringing the air raid back. Whether that's a good move for Baylor in their current roster or not, I don't know. But I'm sure Dave Aranda is a smart enough coach to know that, and I'm sure Jake Spavital will help him make those decisions as to what kind of players he needs. And they can always make a lot of roster flips. They can ask players that don't leave, hey, this may not be the right fit for you. We may not be running the right offense for you. You may need to go to the portal. And then they can go to the portal. And, guys, we've already seen the portal's already crazy. And it's not even officially open yet. But grad transfers and players who have lost their coaches can enter now. And, man, it's crazy. There are already a lot of fantastic quarterbacks in the portal. Some of the top quarterbacks in the country are planning to enter the portal. So there are going to be options for Jake Spavital and Dave Aranda and this Baylor team to go get. And there's going to be a lot of good skill position players in the portal they can get. There's going to be a lot of good linemen they can probably get if they need them. So they might potentially be able to make a roster flip if the guys currently on the roster they don't feel are a fit for this system. And I've got confidence that Jake Spavital will be able to help Dave Aranda do that. Now, will he be able to do it all in a year? I don't know. For Dave Aranda's sake, he better, because Dave Aranda's probably going to be on a pretty short leash next season. So this is a huge decision for Dave Aranda. Arguably the biggest decision of his coaching career is making this move to Jake Spavital. But I've got faith that Jake Spavital is the right guy for the job. Guys, I want to hear what you think. Let me know in the comments section, especially if you're a Baylor fan or a Kansas fan. What do you think about these two moves? West Virginia fans that are watching, what do you think about Jake Spavital coming back to the Big 12 as an OC, and what did you think about his time at West Virginia? Let me know in the comment section. Or if you have any other comment you'd like to leave, drop it down below. Also, guys, you can support me financially in several ways. One way is also a way you can simultaneously support your favorite college football team. ONIT Athlete NIL trading cards. That's right. There are trading cards available with college players on them. And every time you buy a pack, those players benefit. And ONIT Athlete gives 60% of the profits to student athletes. And if you use the link in my description box, I will also make a small commission from each sale. So you can support me and support your favorite team at the same time. West Virginia is available. Oklahoma is available. There are several Big 12 teams available. So go check it out at ONIT Athlete and see if your team is available today. Also, guys, another way you can support my show here, become a channel member. Speaking of channel members, I've got to give a shout out to Luke Bart, Brad Cheney, Jeremy Croy, and Sasquatch 304, 3 current VIP members here at Couz's Corner. If you want to join that exclusive list, hit the join button below or go to the description box, click the link, and join that way. Finally, guys, there are other ways you can support my show, and you can do it for free. Number one, hit the like button. A thumbs up really helps that YouTube algorithm, and even Apple agrees. You can hit the thumbs down button if you thought this sucked. That's okay, too. The comment below helps the algorithm as well as subscribing to Couz's Corner. Help me get my subscriber count up, guys. If you like Big 12, if you like West Virginia, and if you like conference realignment, you need to be subscribed to this guy, okay? Please do that. It would mean a lot to me. There's the thumbs down. It finally came up. Lastly, share this with your family and friends. Anybody else out there who likes college football, who likes Big 12 football, who likes West Virginia, who likes the conference realignment talk, send them my way, because I do all that here on the channel. So please tell them about me. I'd love to have more people over here and grow this audience. And by the way, I have a basketball channel too called Hoops from the Hills, where I partner with Mountaineer Paul from Mountaineer Paul Talks Football. And I have a website, Couz'sCorner.com. A lot of good blog articles over there about West Virginia Mountaineer sports. Go check that out if you're interested. I would really love to see you guys visiting the website. It's another great way you can support me and my work. With all that being said, I hope you all have a top shelf day. And until the next show, Q Country Roads.